Hey, Dan Meyer here, and I am back once again to talk to you about why I left Wells Fargo. Today I'm going to share with you 5 different things that were on my mind when I made the decision to leave my corporate job. Really the 5 factors that were the biggest ones in my need to strike out on my own, to walk away from a long career with a lot of opportunities, having accomplished a lot of things, being well paid, well compensated. But as I said, enough was enough, it's time to go. And surprisingly, I think a lot of people would say most likely I wanted to make more money or didn't want a boss anymore. And both were true, but the number one reason really was I didn't feel like I had the flexibility to innovate. So I left Wells Fargo, left my corporate job to set up my own business because I wanted to do analytics the way I wanted to do it. I'm a data guy. I've been working with numbers since I was a kid. Playing around with spreadsheets to me is fun. I know it's kind of weird that way, but that's just how I am. And so I wanted to be able to use the tools I wanted to be able to use. I wanted to be able to do the analysis I wanted to do. I wanted to look and chase down things that I thought were important. And I was constantly having to put all that aside to do things like make a sales report for 100th time that no one would ever read, or doing things that were more just not fun, not interesting, not new. And so that need to be able to innovate, especially in data analytics, where it's constantly evolving, where the technology keeps revolutionizing the way we analyze data every year. And you can't just keep doing things like we've always done them. Yet companies like Wells Fargo, many other big corporations, they're very successful, but they're very slow at adopting to technologies about number crunching, about doing business dashboards, which was a big deal when I started. Now everyone has them. Or data storytelling, which most people still haven't figured out. But again, the whole point is, why I left Wells Fargo, the number one reason was because I wanted to have my own flexibility to innovate, to do the things I wanted to do when I wanted to do them. So in some sense, it was because I wanted to be my own boss, but also because I just love to be creative. Number 2 was to fulfill my passion, right? So my passion is to help people make sense of their numbers and to use that insight to drive business decisions. And I saw that Wells Fargo, was really good at some things and really not great at others, like every big company. Some are really good at analyzing certain types of data, but not always do you see every shareholder, every stakeholder, every executive, every decision maker using that data. And I wanted to be a place where I could talk to people who wanted analytics badly. I wanted to work for people, and not just one person, but a group of people, a business where I had multiple clients to fulfill my passion, which was to crunch numbers for people that want me to crunch numbers because it will make their business significantly better. Number 3 was, money, right? So to make unlimited money. No matter how good I was working for a company, no matter what I did year after year, my salary was always in a set range. I could only get a certain percentage of salary increase. My bonus was preset based on my position. And I had to be ranked every year. I had to have a review where somebody had to judge whether I was like good, great, or not quite good enough. And that's just why these boxes. I understand big corporations have to have boxes to be able to survive. But I didn't want to fit in that box anymore. I wanted to be able to make as much money as I wanted to, as I could. And when you start doing your own business, the idea is that you charge what the market will bear, and you go after clients who pay you well. You're not stuck on a amount of money. You know in January of every year probably how much money you're going to end up with if you work for a company. Even if you get max bonus, even if you get the greatest reimbursements and all kinds of perks, you're still going to kind of have an idea by the end of the year, if you stay in that job, you're only going to make X amount of money. But as an entrepreneur, you have no idea how much money you're going to make. Now, you may look after a couple years to start seeing some patterns and have what you consider to be a good year, but that ability to make unlimited money makes all the difference. Number 4 was the greater autonomy. I didn't want to have a boss anymore, right? But not necessarily a boss, but because I have clients that in some ways I have to follow them like I follow bosses. But the whole point is I pick and choose. Every day I get up when I want to get up. Now, some days I get up early because I have meetings or commitments, but most days I get up when I want to get up. And I start working on what I want to work on when I want to work on it. And as long as I'm good at managing my time, which I am, and as long as I'm good at delivering results, which I am, then I'm able to consistently pick my own pace. So people don't care when I work on what. But when you're working for a company, especially in an office, if you're not in the office by a certain time, if you take too long of a lunch break, If you leave early, people notice, people talk about it. Your boss can even put it in your review, which will limit your income and limit your ability to be innovative. So the idea of having greater autonomy to me is much greater than just not having to report to somebody. It's being able to set my own day. And once you start setting your own day, you're super productive because I know exactly how much time it takes to do things, and then I want to free myself up to do other things. In the corporate world, it's unavoidable that at times you just kind of sandbag it or you take it slow because you're not feeling it, or it's not someone you're having to deliver something you don't want to do for somebody you don't like, and you just can't give it 100% effort. Now, that's not being unethical. That's just human nature. I mean, I always did a good job, but I picked and choose when I wanted to do a great job. But when you're working for yourself, you always want to do a great job. And that's what I learned about having this greater autonomy. The fifth thing, the final thing, is I wanted to feel the entrepreneurial spirit. I wanted to know what it's like to be basically in charge of myself, working for myself, making what I could make, doing what I wanted to do. This whole thing about just basically leaning into my passion. I'm really good at analytics. People will pay me to do things for them along analytics, especially train newbies or junior staff members how to use analytics. I built an entire business out of training people how to be business analysts. And this is what I love. I love teaching and training and educating. I love empowering. I love talking about data. I love being in front of a room of people. And I love seeing them progress. This is what I wanted to do with my entrepreneurial spirit. So everyone's a little bit different, right? So the reason why you're watching this video is because you're working for a company right now and you're thinking about exiting and you want to make sure you're right, it's right time. You want to make sure you're sure. Well, if you feel like you just cannot innovate the way you want to innovate, that you're not able to fulfill your passion most days, that you have a limited amount of money you can make, that you want greater autonomy and you want to feel entrepreneurial spirit, and it's time for you to say goodbye. And that's what I did. But I didn't just leave overnight. I planned for about a year between when I first started thinking about being my own boss, running my own business, to when I actually left the company. Now, after about 6 months of thinking about it, I actually started having conversations with my boss about leaving. And when I submitted my resignation, they made me stay. Well, they didn't make me stay. They gave me an offer. Stay for the end of the year, and I'll get a full year's bonus. Whereas if I would have left early, I would have got a fractional bonus. So that was kind of that motivating factor. Stay and get the full bonus. It was going to be a good bonus. It was a good year for the company, so on and so forth. So that's why I left, because all these things aligned. I felt like it was time for me to go. And I did. And my first year was a struggle. My second year was better. My third year, I finally made a profit. And I've been profitable and happy ever since, going on year 13 of being an entrepreneur. So that's why I left Wells Fargo. And that's what I've done ever since. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, by the way. Also, you can check out other videos about why I left Wells Fargo. This whole series is for people like you who are kind of in that corporate rat race, who are in that grind, who are thinking, I'm good at something. I could probably make more money and be happier and have more success if I took my skills and I employed myself by working as a contractor or project-based, or being a digital nomad, or whatever it is you want to do, just not having to do it for one boss in one building every day. So that's what I decided to do. That's why I'm making these videos. And please feel free to drop any comments or suggestions you have. Again, I hope these help. These are designed to help inspire, empower, and enable you to get out there and do your own thing, which is what I'm going to wish you to do now. So get out there and have an amazing rest of your day.